I have respect for people who work in the adult film industry. Not because they're degrading women or anything like that, but simply because that's the profession they chose. It's their field, and many of them has built careers around it. Of course, it's not something that falls within the traditional boundaries of marriage or conservative values, but at the same time, they found a way to earn a living, build a career, and contribute to the economy through the work they do. Right now, Erika Kirk is reportedly under intense online scrutiny after an old video of her discussing women in the adult entertainment industry began circulating again across social media platforms. The clip quickly gained traction, and many people who watched it had the same reaction. They were confused, because the Erika Kirk speaking in that clip sounds very different from the Erika Kirk that people recognize today. Today, she presents herself as someone deeply rooted in conservative Christian values. She often speaks publicly about faith, morality, family structure, and traditional beliefs. Because of that image, the resurfaced video immediately caught people's attention. Viewers started asking the same question again and again. Where did this come from? The situation becomes even more interesting when you realize when the clip was originally recorded. It dates back to the time when Erika was competing in the Miss Arizona pageant, long before she eventually became Mrs. Charlie Kirk. At that stage in her life, she was primarily involved in pageants, modeling, and entertainment-related opportunities, rather than politics or public commentary. Back then, there were already rumors circulating about how certain modeling and pageant environments worked behind the scenes. Some people claim that those circles sometimes served as recruitment grounds for young women who were trying to break into media, entertainment, or fashion industries. Discussions online have also pointed out that several victims connected to Jeffrey Epstein reportedly first encountered recruiters through modeling agencies. These stories have often been referenced in broader conversations about the entertainment and modeling industries. However, it's important to clarify something here. There has never been any evidence linking Erika herself or the specific pageant she participated in to any of those allegations. Still, once the old interview clip started trending, people online began revisiting those rumors and speculating about what those environments may have been like during that time period. In other words, the internet started connecting dots. Whether those connections are fair or not is a completely different debate, but the speculation definitely intensified as more people discovered the clip. So let's take a closer look at what people actually found. One of the most widely shared pieces of footage comes from an interview Erika gave during the Miss Arizona competition. During that interview, she was asked a question about the adult film industry. Instead of condemning it outright the way many conservative commentators do today, her answer surprised a lot of viewers. In the interview, Erika said, "I have respect for the individuals that are in the pornography industry." That single sentence quickly spread across social media platforms. Clips of that moment were reposted, stitched into commentary videos, and shared across multiple platforms where people began comparing that earlier version of Erika to the one the public sees today. In another part of the interview, she expanded on her perspective. She explained that the United States is a free country, where individuals have the ability to make their own choices. According to her explanation at the time, if someone wants to watch adult content, they have the option to do so. And if someone doesn't want to watch it, they can simply choose different entertainment that is more appropriate for them. She also briefly spoke about issues related to legalization and personal freedom, comments that again surprised viewers considering the strong conservative stance she is associated with today. To be fair, this interview was recorded roughly 14 years ago. 14 years is a long time, and people can change significantly during that period of their lives. At that point in her life, Erika was not married to Charlie Kirk, and she was not involved in conservative political circles. Her career direction and public identity looked very different from what it would eventually become. But the internet rarely stops at the simple explanation that people grow and change. Instead, when a clip like this resurfaces, it often sparks curiosity, and curiosity usually leads to deeper digging. Once the video started trending, comment sections across social media platforms quickly filled with reactions. Some people expressed surprise. Others expressed skepticism. One commenter wrote that if Charlie Kirk had seen that interview earlier, they doubted Erika would have eventually become his wife, suggesting that her statement seemed to contradict the values Charlie Kirk was known for advocating. Another commenter brought up an interesting point about how older generations of Christians historically viewed the modeling industry. They explained that many traditional Christians once considered modeling to be dangerously close to pornography. In their view, even mainstream modeling could be seen as morally questionable depending on the imagery involved. The commenter also pointed out that before the explosion of the internet and television, publications like Playboy were often considered the closest mainstream equivalent to adult entertainment. Comments like these pushed the conversation even further. Soon, people were no longer just analyzing that one interview clip. They began looking into Erika's entire public history. And that's when more footage started resurfacing, which raises an interesting question. How much did the public really know about Erika Kirk's life before she became involved in political media? After she became more visible following Charlie Kirk's death, it seems that many more pieces of her earlier life began appearing online again. And in some cases, those earlier clips present a version of Erika that looks very different from the public image she presents today. For example, one video that started circulating again was an audition tape she recorded for the reality show The Amazing Race. In that audition tape, Erika appears energetic, playful, and noticeably more relaxed than the composed political personality people are familiar with today.
She laughs, jokes, and speaks with a kind of confidence that feels more like reality TV casting energy than political commentary. At one point in the tape, she makes a comment that quickly grabbed attention when the clip resurfaced. While talking about marketing and entertainment, she says, "Give people cleavage and they'll want cleavage. Showcase it. It sells. Sex sells." Now, that phrase isn't unusual in the world of marketing or entertainment. In fact, it has been used in advertising conversations for decades. But because that clip resurfaced alongside the earlier interview, some people online began speculating about whether Erika's early career in modeling and entertainment had deeper ties to industries people didn't previously associate with her. Again, there is no confirmed evidence supporting those theories, but speculation tends to grow quickly on the internet once conversations start gaining traction. Another resurface moment shows Erika being crowned Miss Arizona USA in 2012, confirming her involvement in the pageant world during that period. Then another discovery added even more fuel to the conversation. People found that Erika appeared in a 2012 country music video for Emerson Drive's song She's My Kind of Crazy. In the video, she plays the romantic interest. In one scene, she's wearing denim shorts and a cropped pink top that reveals a lower back tattoo that appears to be two butterflies. Other scenes show her wearing sparkly tops, fitted pants, and wedge heels while interacting playfully with the male lead. At one point in the video, the two even share a brief kiss. None of those scenes are unusual for a country music video, but when viewers compare those moments with the public image Erika now presents, one centered around conservative faith and traditional values, the contrast is what makes the clip feel surprising to some people. And that contrast is exactly why the video began spreading again online. But the discoveries didn't stop there. Some critics online also revisited an old claim where Erika reportedly said she went 5 years without dating anyone before meeting Charlie Kirk. However, when people started looking into her past relationships, they found reports suggesting she may have dated several individuals during that same time frame. Those reports added another layer of debate to the online conversation. Then reality TV fans made yet another discovery. Viewers of the Bravo reality series Summer House noticed that Erika briefly appeared on the show during its third season. She appeared during a segment where cast member Carl Radke arranged a date between her and his housemate Jordan Very. On the show, Radke described Erika as both beautiful and religious. Jordan, who was also open about his Christian faith, seemed to connect with her fairly quickly. During their conversation, Erika even told him that he seemed like a bright light in a very dark place. Of course, appearing briefly on a reality show isn't a scandal, but for viewers who only knew Erika through her political presence, the appearance was unexpected. For some people, it reinforced the idea that she had lived a very different public life before stepping into conservative political circles. Some critics now argue that Erika had been pursuing public attention long before politics entered the picture. Between pageants, modeling opportunities, music video appearances, reality television, and eventually political media appearances, it almost feels like multiple completely different chapters of public life. And that's exactly why each time an old clip resurfaces, the conversation quickly reignites online. People keep returning to the same question. How much of Erika Kirk's past does the public actually know, especially now that she continues to appear in interviews, speaking engagements, and public discussions following Charlie Kirk's passing? Some critics claim she has been on an extended media tour since then. Others believe she is simply continuing the work and message that her husband spent years building. But one thing seems clear. As long as more old clips keep resurfacing online, the speculation probably won't slow down anytime soon. Because right now it feels like every time the internet starts digging through the archives, another unexpected Erika Kirk clip appears, one that many viewers had never seen before. And if that pattern continues, this conversation is far from over.